Hi and welcome everyone. I'm so happy you're here on this channel. My name is Anya. I'm a business and mindset coach, hypnotherapist and energy healer, and I help women to go from passion into profits by setting up their business strategy, then easy to implement action plan, and as well implement all the mindset changes they need on the way. And today I invited my beautiful client Daniela that she will share her story, transformation story, to show you what's actually possible during such a coaching process. Hi, Daniela.
Hi, Anya. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. So tell a little bit more about yourself and what is your area of expertise? Who do you help?
Yes, for sure. I'm Daniela Ullmann. I'm a certified health coach and trained international keynote speaker. And I help businesses and individuals to really integrate a healthy lifestyle into their daily routines. So that means I help them to better manage stress, to optimize their diets, to integrate healthier routines into their daily demanding lifestyle so they can become happier, healthier, and more successful in life and in their careers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. And thanks to you, I've been able to transform a lot of the work and who I am as a person into something much more than I thought I would ever be capable of doing.
Tell a little bit more. When did you come to me? What was going on in your life? What was the situation? And why you decided actually to have a coaching with me?
Yes. So I started to do health coaching training in 2019, which was just around the time when I opened or officially registered my business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think many young entrepreneurs, solopreneurs know there's so much to do. And even though I've been running the business on the side for about 1.5 years, I was struggling at that time with overwhelm and lack of clarity on what to focus next, because everything is supposed to be important and needs to be done at the same time. And to make things a bit more complicated in my situation, I was still working full time. I had limited time available. So I really was looking for someone who can, take me by the hand, help me to focus on the things that are important, and help me to just to guide step by step along the way.
So what are you the most proud of during the process, what you achieved?
So when I think about the time when I started, or the person I was just a couple of years ago, I am slightly, well, I would say perfectionism. So perfectionism was something that was really profound in the way I work and live, and I wanted to do everything perfectly. And so another thing that I struggled, as I said, is I was slightly overwhelmed. You know, there's when you want to grow a business, you have the whole branding to do, you have the whole marketing and promotion. Then you also have to create your programs. What is it that you want to do? And at that time, when we met, I was purely doing one-on-one coaching, but I also had this other passion of speaking. I was at that time training to become a speaker. And so I knew that I wanted to be on stage, and all these things to focus at once was kind of difficult and well, with the time I had to do. And so one of the biggest things that I've changed over time is with you or through that process is I learned how to focus on what's more important, or let's say to focus on one thing at once or two things at once, because we have limited time. And when you're too spread out, and at least that was my way of operating, when you do too many things at once, you may not do nothing properly. And so it always feels like you're not getting ahead. So I decided then to focus on, at that point, actually was the one-on-one coaching, which later turned into the speaking, which is something I'm now still focusing on. So one of the biggest things is really to keep the focus on what I'm doing, like to focus on one or two things. But before that, even more important is to get the clarity on what it is that you want to do next. Because as I said, I struggled with overwhelm, wanting to do too many things at once. And so having the clarity, okay, so what is it that you want to do next? So these are two big things that I was able to change. And then also, I would say the confidence. Even though I totally believe in the work I do and in helping other people and the importance of the work I do, we all, you know, and even myself, I tended to struggle too much or to focus too much on myself, you know, like on doing it perfectly and how would I come across people instead of just reaching out to people and focusing on them. And I remember you saying that so many times. It's like, what would your client need? Or what if you see it this way? Like, you really helped me to change perspective, which is something I'm super grateful for, because we can get stuck in our own way of thinking, and, you know, and if you continue that way, it may not necessarily lead to where you want to go. But in the end, something you said over and over again, it's all about the client. Really think about how you can help people and about their own struggles. And so these are two things that, or three things now, that I've really been able to change to get the confidence that I need in order to run my business. So is that kind of wrapping it up in a good way?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I work mostly with multi-passionate entrepreneurs who have so many things on the plate. There are so many exciting things. So this is the matter of balance, right? What is my priority, and how to also maybe not only focus on one thing when so many things give us energy, but somehow to balance it, right? And to really know what is right now the most important to me. And as well, I believe that when you say about the confidence comes from action, right? So when you start doing things, you get the confidence. And yes, that was exciting for me to see during your transformation, during our work together. So tell a little bit more about the transformation that you got during our work.
One of the things that you just mentioned, which I remember you saying so many times, and I really started to implement that, is when I had all these things to focus and I didn't know what I wanted to do first. You said, okay, what is giving you energy? And I really tried to implement that into my actions. Like, okay, what is it that is giving me energy? And I had to really start also, in order to keep or to maintain a healthy lifestyle, I had to start to say no to things, to cut things out that weren't necessarily making me happy. I had them on my list of things to do because I felt like I had to do them. But I didn't necessarily feel so much pleasure and joy anymore doing it. So that was really, really important, like a really important lesson learned. And then in terms of transformation, I mean, I don't know, there's so much to share really in this whole journey, but is there anything specific that you're thinking about that I may not have mentioned?
I would like you to talk a little bit more. Where are you right now after our cooperation?
Yes. Okay. So I've actually had some quite big changes. So we've been working together with Anya for 2 years or so, almost 2 years. And now actually I had quite a change happening. I'm actually sitting here or talking to you guys from Colombia because I decided through that whole process, and not just like this professional kind of work we've been doing together, but I've been doing a lot of work on personal development, on spiritual development. And so I came to the conclusion that I want to fully focus on my business going forward 100%. So I made the decision to quit my corporate job. I've been after 22 years, basically, in order to do that, because I struggled so often, and I keep coming back to the struggles, but to how can I raise a necessity? How can I help more people? And I was limited in times. I was still working full time and trying to do all these things, even though I was able to do it in my work, like in my job. I was able to deliver speeches and hold workshops and keynotes. Nevertheless, to me, it wasn't enough. And so, I decided, that's it. I'm super grateful for everything I've been able to do in my corporate job that helped me to grow. That's also something, in case you are still in your corporate role, see if you can somehow implement that work you do in your corporate role, because I feel like it was kind of like a playground. I was able to try things out. I was able to just grow and integrate new programs, and it was helping. It was a win-win situation because the company enjoyed what I did, I appreciated it. Obviously I wasn't charging at the beginning because I was an employee, even though I brought the expertise from outside, but I was able to grow, and all this material that I've created, I can now also use, and I have been using for my actual business. And so, long story short, the 31st of March was actually my last day at work. And before starting this whole new adventure, or like continuing this whole new adventure of being a coach and a speaker, I decided to take some time out. And so I'm actually traveling for 3 months to South America, or through South America, to really just get some new ideas, just getting inspired by new things, new countries, new cultures. And when I get back, even though you never really fully separate the two, business and life, in a way, because my life is like, whatever I teach as a health coach is something I live. Like, I live this way of living, this healthy lifestyle. I take very, very good care of myself. It's always the most important thing for me, always number one priority wherever I go, even though I have to tweak things a little bit when it comes to habits to get to to accustom to the place you're at this time. But that's where I am. And when I get back, I want to continue this work. And I have so many plans of going, like I said, one of my biggest areas of passion is speaking, right? Corporate speaking, going to companies, not just in Germany, but also internationally, and also continue with the one-on-one coaching, creating group programs. I have so many ideas. And now I remember I said so many times to you, I only have limited, I don't have enough time, right? I don't have enough time. And now I have the time that I need, or I will have the time that I need in order to make all these things happen. And you've been such an inspiration for me through this journey. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And just to maybe add something that you haven't mentioned is the value behind the work that you do, that I do as a coach. It's not necessarily the knowledge that you get, or it's the maybe growing your business as such in size and in profit, which is one benefit. It is really to have someone who, in times when you don't believe in yourself, believes in you, and someone who helps you to keep going. I remember many times where I didn't feel like it. And I remember, okay, I have a coaching with Anya next week, and I have these actions on my list, these to do. So I'm going to make them happen. And so that really helped to be guided along the way. It's so tremendously valuable. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful.
Yes, and I want to say, because you come from Germany and you speak so many languages, because German, English, Spanish. So whoever is listening to us right now, I want to say that if you're looking for someone for wellness program, health program in your company, especially big organization, Daniela is exactly the person to go for. And as well, I want to say, because I participated in your program, this with Little Habits for Morning, and as well with Health Forum, you are so valuable, an amazing speaker, and you bring so much value to your clients. So it was a pleasure to support you. Tell a little bit more, Daniela, right now, what are you focusing on?
So right now, as I said, I'm just taking a little break, but my primary focus will still be the speaking. I love talking in front of people. I love inspiring people. I love being on a stage, and I have so much to give. And so that is like working with like businesses, corporate companies, to give talks, to give workshops. That's still something I want to keep as my main passion, so to speak, or main area of business. And that's something I'm going to focus on. I also work a lot on, also, I would say obsessed, but in a positive way, about healthy foods. I would say 90% plant-based eater. And I want to help cafes and restaurants to really transform, or to accelerate the transformation to a healthier, like to vegan or even gluten-free cuisine, so to speak. I'm super fascinated about breakfast in particular. And so all these travels I've been doing, not just right now, but also through the past couple of years, I traveled through Spain and Portugal. And it's like I go to all these places, eat all their healthy foods, and then just the ideas that develop through that, I can use that to help my clients going forward. Like, when it comes to special twists, food design, ingredients, and so on. And so I believe it's so important, because food is not just fuel, right? Food is life. Food is who you are. And so it either helps you to get better and stronger and healthier, or it helps you to get sick. So, right, it's a kind of a two-way street. The one-on-one transformational journeys like we've been on, to really help people to implement healthier habits, because we often, we have a goal. We have a goal of, I want to change my diet. I want to eat healthier. I want to lose weight, or I want to get more energy. At the beginning, we were motivated, but then the motivation often fades. And as I said before, the whole value of coaching is not necessarily the knowledge. It's really to have someone who guides you through that time, especially when you're not feeling it, when you have a bad moment and in a down day, to really help you to get back up and to really get going. I strongly believe, I talk about that so often. We focus so much on life-changing transformations in a short period of time, but I focus a lot on changing your lifestyle, like these tiny little habits. I'm a big fan of routines and habits. And as you said, I'm a morning routine lover. I would not be here anymore without my morning routine. And so I help people through my Magical Morning Challenge, that program you've participated in. Is a 7-day program, or now I'm actually turning it into 10 days. That helps you to really start the day feeling energized, having the clarity and focus that you need for the day, and collaborations. I mean, there's so much more I want to do. I'm collaborating with, I have a digital provider, an app that I collaborate with, and to keep thinking big, which is also something you taught me to do, is to think big, what if, I remember you said so many times, what if, la, 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 la. So,
yeah. And also, I think that not only having the person that will just guide you, but also the person that actually walks the talk. So really living the values that are shared with your clients. So I want to tell you that you, as a health coach, you are so credible, because you are walking the talk, and actually you are making these changes in your life for years already. So also you can share the knowledge and share your experience. I'm so excited, Daniela, for the things that will come in the future. especially your project right now, but also later. And I'm looking forward to be, next to you during that journey and to have contact with you. I'm so happy and privileged that you are my client. Yeah, let's stay in touch. I'm really excited for the next steps.
Thank you so much, Anya. And for everyone watching this right now, if you're unsure what your next step could be, or if you should take the next step, go and do it. Go do it, because life is far too short, and we need to live our purpose in life and do the things that make us happy. Far too many people are stuck on their comfort zone or stuck on their rut. And be proud to be different. Be proud to be different than everyone else in your community, in your family, in your circle of friends. Be proud to be that person. Be proud to be that role model. So I think that's just something I want to leave you with.
Yeah, and I also sometimes say during the sessions with the client, what if you are this light in the family, in the community?
Yeah.
To really give the example that you can live differently. You can do different steps than any other person around you. Thank you so much, Daniela. And
My pleasure.
Yes, and see you, everyone. And if you want to contact Daniela, I will leave all the details below this video on YouTube, and let's stay in touch.
I will. All the best to you.